Welcome to day 6 of Advent of Code 2020 and my C++ live coding solving these puzzles. So day 6 puzzle goes like this.
If you like my videos, feel free to do nothing.
Just grab a cup of coffee
and enjoy.
Customs. As your flight approaches the regional airport where you switch to a much larger plane, customs declaration forms are distributed to the passengers. The form asks a series of 26 yes or no questions marked A to Z. All you need to do is identify the question for which anyone in your group answers yes. And let's skip ahead. Another group asks for your help, then another, and eventually you collected answers from every group on the plane. And this is your puzzle input. Each group's answers are separated by a blank line, and within each group, each person's answer are on a single line. So the puzzle input looks like this. This is the questions A to Z for which this person answered yes, and this person answered yes to this. And this forms a group, empty line, these two forms a group, empty line, and so on. And the task is, for each group, count the number of questions to which anyone answered yes. What is the sum of those counts? So let's solve this by live coding in C++. Let's begin.
So we start off by creating the Xcode project, and then I spent some time here trying to declare the input data up there and then have the actual definition of the data input as a raw string below all my code so that I don't have to scroll past the in data while I'm writing the code, and it takes some time, but I finally figured it out. And now we go for the basic E-string stream, or I-string stream, it's sorry for the pronunciation, and we use the get line to be able to read empty entries because we want to be able to detect the empty entries because they mark separation between groups. And then I go for the set data construct. Seemed like a good fit to count the yes answers because we're going to count each yes answer only once, and the set actually does that, so it doesn't matter how many times I enter the same question A to Z into this set, it will be counted only once. So that's what I'm doing here. It's quite simple. I just check if the entry string entry is 0, then I know it's a new group, and I push the old one and clear the new group and go from there. Okay, so now I decide to use the for each algorithm to transform these sets into counts. Maybe it was a bad idea, but I went down this route anyhow, and for the for each to work I need to have a function object to keep the entries in the group while doing the for each, and it turns out to be a little bit complicated, but anywho, no big deal. I just put everything into the setter, and then I have to access the set, the customs entry set in this setter. It wasn't nice, but this is a quick and dirty solution, so yeah, just carry on here. And now we want to transform these sets now into a vector of counts. This may be overkill also, but anywho, I decided to go through this step, although it's inefficient and maybe I don't need it, but I do this transform there and just return the entry size, and then I have a little problem because I need a back inserter to actually insert the result into an empty vector. So took care of that, and then I just sum up this vector of sums using the standard accumulate function, and I get 0, so something is wrong here, and maybe you already figured out what is wrong. I'm not going to spoil the answer, I just start entering a lot of logging here to trace where it is failing. And as we can see, I first figure out that no, we get actually the entries in there. We also get the setter called, and no problem there. We can see the setter gets called, and we have the counts, presumably. So and there, yeah, we have the counts. So why doesn't the count come out and into the for each function? And it takes a while, and suddenly I realize that the problem is that we actually provide a copy. You see there, the for each gets a copy, so it copies the custom setting. So what we need to have the setter use a reference, and that's what I'm adding here, because if it's a reference, the reference gets copied, but the underlying customs entry that we are operating on gets is the same. So, and now it works. It's not this solution is getting more and more, let's say, ugly or unclean, but well, it's a quick and dirty one, so just carry on here. And now we have the answer 6521, and just to clean this up, I added some logging to get a nice output and maybe get a second, yeah, I second guess myself by adding some logging to just see that, for example, that I actually process all the entries. So you will see me check that in a moment. But I just add logging here for each step. So here we see the group just answers, and we have the vector of counts and the sum of counts. And now I'm checking that the last entry is actually the one we have there. So I just go for it. I enter this answer, and fingers crossed, yes, it was the right answer. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.
If you like my videos, feel free to do nothing.
Just grab a cup of coffee
and enjoy.